Right.
Yeah.
Please join us for the pledge of allegiance. We're gonna open the meeting. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilperson Vargas Mendez.
Yep.
Councilperson Bar. Yes. Councilperson Draven. Here. Councilperson Lamb. Here. Lightfon. Here.
All right, what's my computer doing? Thanks for joining us. So the first thing up is to approve the meeting minutes of July 31st, August 8th and August 15th.
Another great job on the minutes. I'll second that or move that.
I'll second that.
No,
I'll move that.
anybody want a second?
Just second. Okay.
Councilperson Vargas Mendez.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, and now we have the public hearing for the rail trail easements from the villages of Dryden and Freeville. This is, we're gonna open it, but we're gonna continue it until the first meeting in October. The drafts that we have haven't been final, well, the two villages boards haven't voted on them yet. But there haven't been any changes from these drafts that we have seen yet. So we'll open these for comment, and if there are any changes between now and the next meeting, the changes will be posted, the new versions will get posted, so. Let me. Share a couple of things first. So these are the tax parcels.
It's awesome.
And this is the Freeville easement agreement. And the reason why we're seeking these easements is so that we can start work under the parks, state parks grant and get reimbursed.
Right.
It's exciting.
And this is being required by the state, so. Yeah, apparently Natalie is still looking at it. Yeah, so the two villages, I mean, you guys will, I guess you'll meet at the beginning of October. We're not gonna vote on that.
Won't be voting on it tonight then.
No, we're not voting on it tonight.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, we can't vote on it until Natalie and you folks vote on it, so,
I know that you're all.
yeah. Yep,
Okay,
Thank
you.
Thanks. And this one's the one that would be the easement for the Village of what's the Village of Dryden? And this one, right, this doesn't include the Jim Shug part yet, right?
No, I put it back in, so those
It is back in?
articles are in there.
Okay. So they are, because they. Even though none of the Parks Grant monies are on the part called Jim Shug Trail. The village seems to want us to include it in this single easement. Even though, yeah. Well, it's not necessary for the reimbursement part, so we could probably have done it separately, but they want to do it together, so. Anyhow. So if we have any comments from the public about the either of these, can take them now. And we did receive a letter supporting these, so just posted that up. Okay, so we'll just hold this open and we'll start moving down the agenda. All right, so next up would be highway.
I don't know if any of you have gone up, down Upper Creek Road from 366. I'll go with Bank. We got, don't have new guardrail, we're still gonna work on that, but we got the old guardrail back up.
Oh, would you be able to like come up to the mic though, because there's some people might not be able to hear you. Sorry.
On our stream bank stabilization project, we were able to get. That section on Upper Creek Road. Between. Kingdom and Caswell. Is all blocked, seeded. Guardrails are back up, drainage was put in. And we. Put some binder down at first, just to get the road back open and let it settle. And we paved it the other day, so it's. It's back open, that's the way it's gonna be for a while, and hopefully nothing else down the road goes, but it's going to, but we're in good shape on that. I think it looks really nice. We contacted our striping guy, see if he can just run some stripes down there, because it's pretty. It's right there in the curve, so it'll be nice to get it striped up again.
The one where what Solomon used to live, is it that area, that curve? Or
Yeah, right, if you go off 366 and turn right on Upper
Yeah.
Creek Road, you got Kingdom,
yeah,
then
Oh.
Caswell, you got that curve there. So
Yeah.
we're just gonna try to get.
oh, yeah, okay, not Lower Creek.
We've done our second cut out there at the dam. We had our dam inspection. They were there for a lengthy amount of time doing the camera. As far as I know, in talking with Dave from the guy who gave us the grant to do what we did, everything looks pretty good. We'll know we had put in for extension. But I think he's, in my contacts with him, everything sounds good, looks good, and they got a few things buttoned up. Between Don, D and him, it'll be taken care of.
Congrats.
We did some. We put some barricades up on the trail ends. I don't know if Dan's talking about this, but we had apparently some four wheelers and stuff on the trails.
Yeah, near Hallwoods Road.
So one of the concerns was. Nobody knew that there was a crossing there. So Todd Bittner asked me if we could do, if we put crosswalks in, so at least people know. They can see it. We did DSNY it. Once they clear, we're gonna put the actual stick figures up so people know what it is. We've got the painting done, but I gotta wait till they clear the DSNY and put the signs in the ground and we should be good.
It's awesome.
Yeah, this came up in the last week, I think on the 14th or I'm looking at. Emails that came in over the weekend about four wheelers being back there. And
Okay, that was nice direct. Wasn't me.
seriously.
Straight shot.
Yeah.
Um,
It's also illegal, so you know, we've got the law enforcement on high alert.
they keep catching. Anybody have any questions for me?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to follow up with you later, but I talked to the land trust folks Monday. And so they know, all the work that was done. But we're talking about one of the parking lots at the Roy Park Preserve, the southern one, the small one. It's near where you go not where the boardwalk is, but the other one, near the other end of it. They might ask us for some help in expanding it, but they provide.
That out,
That's the one on our settlement. It's near Midline.
just when I cleaned it all
Well, yeah, they're talking about trying to make it a little bit bigger.
up. Oh,
But so I was talking to Andy, he said that they're getting a grant to buy materials to cover stuff in that parking lot and whatever, and so. I know the town did work. In the Ellis Hollow parking lot a long time ago. So. Anyhow, we gotta work out.
yeah, we
details and stuff.
Cleaned up.
Yeah.
It was a mess, we got that cleaned up, and
Yeah,
it was by accident.
oh,
My guys are out, yeah, we finally got to that park, it's not ours.
I'm sure they appreciate it, but
You plow that too in the winter, don't you?
Huh?
Don't you remove snow there?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's,
yeah.
I mean, we're partners with them,
Yeah.
we like what they do.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk more because they're getting grant monies to do something, for ADA access for the boardwalk end, but they also want to expand, they make the parking lot on the other end larger so that there's less of a traffic. I guess there's a hazard there with people when there's like too many people parking in there, the people will park on the road, so they want to make it larger so that doesn't happen.
yeah, just, I mean, I'd like to do it sooner than later, because.
Yeah, well, I'll let him know, because I don't think they have the grant money yet, it's gonna probably be for next year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not something imminent or anything, it's just that, and of course he'd have to work around your schedule. So, and then. Oh, and I signed off the thing for the Genung Road Bridge today too.
Okay.
So I don't,
Yes. Perfect.
Yep.
It took a while to download, but.
yeah, it took forever to download for some reason, I don't know why. But
Good broadband here.
no. I don't know what, I think it was a file, something's wrong with it.
It's coming,
Yeah,
broadband's coming to us.
so, all right, well, thank you. Ray?
Yeah, so the monthly update is distributed and on the web, and the only thing I'll call out is that we originally anticipated having the Morris Road Solar Project hearing this month. It'll be October 17th. And we'll get to that hearing. That's an SUP for the solar, 5 megawatt solar up on Morris Road.
Mhm. Anybody got any questions? Nope. Okay. And then, Chris?
So I've been sending some emails.
Yep.
Anybody's got questions, I can try and answer them now, or if you wanna communicate by email, that's fine too, whatever.
I guess one question, because I know it's come from a couple people, like when we start talking about the town's part of the strategic plan, when would we start talking about the town's part of the strategic plan? So we all departments presented last week, so we have to do our own.
Okay, well, I've been through them, where they got submitted and.
But the overall one that we would put
Mhm.
together,
Okay.
when do we want to start doing that?
Whenever you like, I mean, I've already. Done a fair amount, I guess. It would make sense to me that I don't do that in a vacuum. So, I wanted to. Wait to finalize things until I at least saw what the departments had, and. I guess it might make sense to me to hear from all of you. Too, because you're the authority of the town. But whatever. Whatever you want.
Well, I don't think we can do this remotely. I mean, the idea of strategic planning is get together and brainstorm and put our ideas out there, so.
Okay.
I think we gotta find a time, maybe. In early January, some of us have time off to meet. And talk about it in a way that we're not feeling rushed.
Okay.
I would just like. We get through the budget season with the requests, see what the requests are, because I don't think we should do it before we get the request.
Yeah, they might play a role in. What the town's strategic plan is as well. They're sort of intermingled, if you will.
Right, we've had a lot of dialogue in the last year with the
Right.
departments,
Okay.
and they should have an
So
idea
I'm,
of our.
I'm
Approach to,
prepared whenever you want to get together, in any way that you want to get together.
I thought the strategic plan, the town strategic plan, part of it was going to be more or less. Based on, what the continuous conversation, but it was going to be part of our budget conversation, isn't it? Is it?
I mean, it could be, but that would be a whole different dialogue that we need to occur. It's hard enough to figure out funding levels without trying to project what we'll do different.
I thought we were gonna put that by November 1st.
Yeah,
Our own process.
yeah.
I mean, I don't think we can do it now. I don't think that's enough.
I mean, it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense to talk about budget for individual, for individual fire departments without ourselves having a good idea, together of what we expect for the short and long run, from them.
Well, then we need to find time to meet. The five of us and kind of share our thoughts. And I would imagine that would have to be published.
Yeah.
Do you have a partial draft? You said you already have quite a chunk of it done. Do you have anything you can forward to us so we can all kind of at least have start at a level playing field?
It might take me like a week or so to kind of. Clean it up, because right now it's just pages and pages of ideas, notes, data. But yeah, I mean, I've done sort of. Well, I've invested a lot of time in looking at the departments. I invested a lot of time looking at a couple of the strategic plans. Some of them take too long to go through. But yeah.
I think it might be helpful if we conveyed to Chris some things that we'd like to know before we go into this process, and he could compile that information, like.
Okay, so you're suggesting you're gonna send me questions first?
Yeah, but if there's data that we need that will inform our
Okay,
decision
that's
making,
fine.
like. What are the trends in volunteerism at the four departments?
Okay,
What are the trends in response times or, responses, period?
okay, I'll just tell you right up front, I'll do the best I can, but. as you probably figured out, it's getting increasingly difficult to get any real solid data. But
Okay, well, that's fine. We don't have to
I'll
discuss this
certainly
right now. You can just say can't get that. We could
Okay,
ask for it.
alright,
You can-
okay.
you know, and
Okay,
you can
so I'll-
respond appropriately.
It sounds like I'm gonna work on what I've done thus far.
Yep.
And you're gonna send me some questions in terms of, we would like to know this.
Yeah,
Right.
whatever trend lines you can share with us about fire
Okay.
service would be helpful.
Okay. All right,
Yes, involves some smart goals,
sounds good.
What's that? Smart,
Okay.
smart goals,
smart goals, yes.
sorry.
Yeah, and I know just in like when you send one email talking about the financing of fire equipment.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the distinction is like whether like when there's a fire district that's a taxing authority, that's a municipal government
right,
versus a private LLC
no,
or nonprofit. So they can't access the same types of like financing. It's just not. Because the income that a nonprofit receives is not guaranteed. There's no, like they don't have any ability to collect taxes. So there's just like the way that they, so when talking about that stuff is like comparing the fire district to a nonprofit is not. You can't do that. I mean, you can only show what's different. You can't say like, well, this part. I don't think that the email really covered it.
okay,
Anyway, I just think that there's a distinct difference between what a municipality can do versus a private organization. The bond rates are going to be completely different if you bond some.
no,
Or any other kind of financing. So it's sort of because that's part of this whole town. That's a big part of what we're going to talk about for any of our plan is like how we're financing equipment and other things. So
okay,
that's because that's really our role at this point, but we're not.
I think what you're trying to say is the borrowing rates different.
Yeah, the bond rate's going to be different, but also like, I mean, they. Yeah, the only thing they have in their favor now is that they have money in the bank that they could use as collateral. But other than that, they don't have any income unless it comes from the town, because like WB Strong, I mean, gets a drop in the bucket from the village of Freeville.
Right.
And only about, at best, 30% of the funding for Neptune comes from the village of Dryden. That's kind of.
at best,
Yeah, and that's kind of, I'm guesstimating, but I think I'm pretty darn close.
Yep, yep.
So, and even the village, it's, they're obligated to put their part in. So,
okay,
even those two departments have different, like, they might be able to leverage the villages, but Varna and Etna couldn't. They'd have to work with us.
Yeah.
So it's a little. Anyhow, that's all I would say about that one.
okay. Thanks.
Yep. We're good. And then Dave, I guess you're up.
Hey, can you, can I share my screen?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, good evening, everyone. This is the report through August data, but there's also some news that's already happened in the month of September. So I'll do a little bit of review just on where we are with this, with all of Dryden Fiber, as well as the municipal infrastructure program. So this is the program that was awarded to 6 different projects in phase 1. This project serves both the town of Dryden and the town of Caroline. The funds cover construction of over 100 miles of new fiber internet across both Dryden and Caroline, and will bring broadband to over 2,670 parcels across the 2 towns. Most of those are in the town of Dryden. The grant also covers installation, not just the construction of the network, but also installation to the home for a certain number of these parcels that we planned in the 2.5-year project. The first piece of news within this is we have already reached 76 of those 2,600 homes since we started the project with these MIP funds in June. So we're well on our way to getting that 2,600 homes covered. I believe we're probably in first place across all of the other projects for actually being able to reach homes with broadband. The next bullet on here is that we actually have 8 of those 76 homes are currently now customers of Dryden Fiber, paying their monthly fee to us. And their installation costs were covered by this MIP grant. We're also the first project of these 6 projects in phase 1 that were awarded to actually have live customers using the service here in New York State, paid for by MIP funds. And the real reason behind that is the amount of time spent getting ready, and that this was very clearly a shovel-ready project. So when they gave us the funding, we could just run with it and have a huge impact right away. I have a few other pieces on the municipal infrastructure program, but before I do that, any questions on MIP?
Yeah, I guess I have one question, and I should know the answer to this, but at what point will we actually get revenue from MIP? I know we gotta do some work first before they send us money, but when do you expect to get any sort of funds directly from them?
Great question, Dan. So it's a $8.9 million project. They're going to give it to us in 4 pieces, about equal size. So a little over 2 million in 4 different payments. There are milestones that have to be achieved as part of the project for us to earn the right to request reimbursement for a quarter of that $8.9 million. And then another set of milestones to reach. We're looking at the timeline of this being the end of this year. We'll finish the first set of milestones. We'll request a little over $2 million in January based on 2024 spending. And then another one at the end of 2025. Another one in October of 2026, and then a final one at the very end of 2026.
Excellent, all right, thank you.
So we're spending the money as quickly as we can to do the building, so we'll have the invoices. This is a reimbursement grant. We have to spend the money first, which works for us. We have the bonded money available, and then we'll get that money paid back, and we can pay down the bonds.
All right, so our first check from CAO will be in January.
I imagine that it'll happen sometime in the first quarter.
Right, we'll bill them in January.
We will send them an invoice with our reimbursement request at the end of the year or the first week of January.
Got
I
it.
believe we'll get paid by that in Q1.
Nice.
Right now we are at 648 parcels, 831 households. That's because we have apartments and mobile homes. Each apartment building, each mobile home park counts as one parcel. So we add all the different units within that parcel. That's how I get the household count. As of September 1st, we had 89 paying customers, 65 inbound requests. As of September 1st, we had 27 customers in the queue for the month. With an estimate that we'd be at 100 customers by, this says by September 21st. The good news is we had 102 customers on September 3rd. So pretty rapidly, we went from 89 up to 102. So I think one day we did 4 installs that just helped move us up over into triple digits.
Mhm.
As of today, we have 111 live customers and 29 in the queue. So if no one else signs up, we're already going to be at 140 customers by around October 5th. We're estimating 250 by the end of the year. The break-even number I gave last month was 262, and then 500 by June 30th. So we're on pace to continue to grow pretty rapidly. As soon as we're getting parcels turned green, people are signing up, or people who have pre-registered are able to get their installations scheduled.
That break even's faster than earlier projections, right?
Yeah, the original one was looking like sometime next spring.
Yeah.
And now looks like it's going to be in January.
Fantastic.
So I want to show this little timeline summary. We're looking at the top half of this is the customer growth projections. So as of 9/13, when I put this together, we had 110 live customers, 25 in the queue. By the end of the month, 125, end of the year, 200. No later than 3/31 will be at 262. This is again as of just a couple of days ago. And then 500 by halfway through the year and 1,000 by the end of next year. So pretty rapid growth in the network as we add a lot more homes in the village of Dryden, village of Freeville, and then as we move into other parts in the northern half of town. On the green zone projections, all of the village of Dryden and Freeville will be done by the end of October. That's our current projection. We're almost there already. There's just a few streets left in Freeville and a few roads left in the village of Dryden. Also, by the end of October, we believe we'll be to get Ithaca Estates. That was the Congress Trailer Park. We'll get them online. That's 74 units, as well as Pine Ridge. That's at 1062 Dryden Road in Varna. We'll get both of those live and available for service. By the end of the year, nearly all parcels north of Route 13, which is that everything that's in yellow, and the remaining parcels north of Route 13, where everything's in blue by halfway through the year by 6/30/25. Also by 6/30/25, we start building pathways south from Mount Pleasant toward the Caroline town line. And in September, about a year from now, we believe we'll start to have it available for Caroline residents to become Dryden Fiber customers. And then the longest term, by the end of 2026, all orange parcels on the map, which is the southern half of town, as well as all the Caroline parcels, will be green.
Great map.
How many installs are you able to handle each month? Do you ever like foresee that you're gonna have like a backlog?
So right now, we had our operations meeting yesterday. We had been scheduling 2 installs per day. We're going to increase that to 4 installs per day. And then we could actually go up to 6 without even adding another team. So clarity is, first, they've been with us since the beginning. They are based in the town of Dryden on Hanshaw Road. They're going to add capacity as needed to help build this.
Nice.
So, we do 4 installs a day. That's 20 a week, 80 per month. That's right on schedule to hit 1,000 by the end of next year at that rate. And, people, if we go faster, we don't have a set goal, but we'd like to keep the queue of scheduled installs to 30. So if we see that number creep over 30, we'll add more teams to move things through the pipeline faster.
Okay.
Definitely don't want to have people sign up and take months and months and months to get service when they're in the green zone. This is a look at the map. This is in the packet, so you've seen this map for the last few months. This is a project summary page I put together. If people ask you about the MIP project, the first part of the summary is one that is part of our official agreement with New York State. Some of the key points that I put in the bottom half of this document. The project brings approximately $4.5 million of federal ARPA funds to the town of Dryden. We believe that we were awarded this because of our combined efforts with the town of Caroline. If we had gone in on our own, we may or may not have been successful. We know that New York State looked very positively toward projects that were larger, that had multiple municipalities. One of the biggest ones is Livingston County, and they cover many towns within Livingston County. So by us having 2 towns, it gave us more firepower to get our submission approved. So $4.5 million because we partner with Caroline, and that comes right to the town of Dryden for the construction. The second is these funds help finance the prioritization of bringing fiber optic to all unserved and all underserved homes in the town of Dryden. These are places where they have no choice. They have DSL or dial-up. Maybe they have a satellite option, but they have no wired option to their home. And this pays for that. And the third key point is this expansion into Caroline brings in 1,100 homes / parcels to our potential platform, making the entire venture more sustainable in the long run. So we're thinking like this fiber is built to run for the next 40 years. It has the technology to handle it. the changes at the switches at the homes, the fiber is going to last a long time. But having 1,100 more homes in Carolina makes the entire thing more sustainable. So people ask you what's going on with the project. Top half of the talk, this page gives you some information about the project. The bottom half, some real key things about why it's good for Dryden and why we combine with Caroline to get this done. I think I have one or two more. This is a message from the Connect All office today. As of today, the Empire State Development Board meeting happened this morning, and our project was approved. It's one of those steps in the process. We already granted the project back in June, but now Empire State has given their the official approval. As it says, is a major milestone. The next step is the grant disbursement agreement. This is called the GDA. This specifies exactly when and how the money will be provided to us. We already have a lot of that in the proposal and the contract that we signed back in June. This just puts into a much, this is the actual agreement that says this is how it's going to be. This is how much money is going to happen. This is the reimbursements.
Wow.
Dave, you were at that meeting today. I was there for the first part, but I didn't catch the part where Dryden Fiber came up. Did they say anything, or how are we I don't know, referred to in that meeting?
Very quickly, they ran through the other projects just by name of the project and the counties where the projects are managed. Empire State provides their services across all of New York State, usually at the regional level. We're in the Southern Tier region, so we get first identified as a Southern Tier region project and then as a Tompkins County project. They did mention Dryden Caroline, Dryden Fiber as part of that in the dollar amount, but beyond that, they didn't mention Supervisor Lifer or my name.
Sorry.
Next time. I think that's all I had. I would invite you to check out one of the pages on here. I think it was page 17 in the original document I sent you, has the comments from people who are signing up for the service. Most people sign up, they put their address in, they put their email and their phone number, and we cross-reference it, we schedule the install. Or if they're not yet in the green zone, we let them know that they're not in the green zone yet, but we'll contact them as soon as they're in. I put together, there's a third thing that happens when people sign up is they have the opportunity to tell us where they're at with their online experience. And it's in the packet. I think it's on slide 17. So if you want to take a look at that, you can hear exactly what the residents of Dryden are saying about why they want this, what they're doing right now for internet, and why this is important to them. So I invite you to check that out.
Awesome.
Any questions?
I'm good. Thank you. We have the broadband committee meeting tomorrow too. So
Right.
How's the marketing coming along? We had that other company.
We've got a couple of things. I have new postcards for coming soon. We're gonna do some posters for the cork boards around town. Like when you walk into town hall, the big cork board, we have a sign there to work on that design. And we're doing some expansion to our email marketing to reach people.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Someone from county.
Mm-mm.
No, if they wander in, we'll just take them when they get here.
They wouldn't dare.
Mm-mm.
They wouldn't dare wander in. Okay, we got a couple of volunteer board applications. First would be Sue.
Well, before you go to her name, she is still thinking about it.
Still thinking about
We're
it?
not gonna move that,
Okay.
but I do wanna say, we do have two other people who are very interested and they're people that we know well. Diane DeSiglia Hines is interested. She has an application on file, but I don't think she needs any introduction to any of us.
Right.
So I suggest we appoint her as well as Gwen Beck,
Nice.
Right.
who needs no introduction either. I don't think she got an application in time for us to review, but I don't think we need it. I don't. I
don't think
know her
so
very
either.
well. She has a great perspective, so if
Yeah.
we're willing to do that, I propose that we seat both those people on the board tonight. The task force.
All right, I'll move that.
One second.
Thanks.
Councilperson Margus, then.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
Yes.
Yes. And then we had another application, I haven't met him, but he's newer to town, Arthur Sommer for broadband committee, we do have a vacancy. He's a called a DevOps engineer, so
He's a what?
it's an like a development engineer, computer science,
Okay,
so, I mean, kind of like.
but we got an application.
We got an application in, yeah, and he'd been in touch with Cassie previously and whatever, so. You know,
We Get a little more gender diversity on the group.
yeah, no, I think with that group, we can. Just add people anyhow, it's more of
Yeah.
a discussion group, so. I would just move one out, he's young, you know, just got out of college a couple years ago too,
Oh, we
so,
think we're good. Good.
so
Well,
that'd be
that's-
good,
Oh, I have some age diversity and nothing.
Yeah. so I'll move that.
a second.
Councilperson Margus, then.
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Does that bring us up to 11 for the Dryden test or the rail trail?
That's for the,
Okay.
yeah,
No, that brings us to 9,
Okay,
because we were short a person.
okay,
9, so still in space.
Okay.
If you know something.
okay.
okay, and then next up, we have, the prayer agreement. Um. Mr. Quinn, did you want to just let us, this is Mr. Tom Quinn. Oh, I know we have. Things that Bambi had forwarded to us and, I think Nate chimed in. Bit. And.
Well, I'm getting older. And I'm reaching the horizon. I came to Dryden some 20 some odd years ago, married into the Trumbull family. We've been up on that land for a long time. I've always, since I was a young man, had a distaste for the funeral industry and the expense and the chemicals, you know, like the preservation. It's just not natural. Everything we do out there on the farm has been for the benefit of the land and the community. And when my time comes, I just as soon stay right there. It's a big piece of ground, it's 4 acres. It's going to be passed along to my stepson and then his daughter. The land's been in the hands of the Trumbull family for, well, since the early 19th or late 18th or 19th century. So my wife and I have agreed that's where we want to go. You know, just a green burial, dig a hole, throw me in. I
Yep.
picked the spot. I've planted so far 5 Native American chestnut trees, which are thriving. So we hope they make it through to adulthood before the black gets them. I've planted close to 30 trees on that land, and that's where I want to go amongst the trees. It's away from the house, it's away from the water supply, it's away from any community water, and under normal conditions, a human body will be pretty much gone in 3 to 5 months anyway.
Mhm.
So that way I can give back and enjoy that my trees are feeding the wildlife community. That's my pitch.
Okay.
Thank you for coming in, and we're not familiar with exercising this town power. It hasn't come up in my
I
head.
didn't even know you had power.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You know, it's our land.
but you've already addressed one of the primary concerns I had that I circulated to my colleagues about a green burial and whether that would be something you would consider. Sounds like you've already considered it.
That's the only thing, I would never, I recently lost my younger sister and my mother. Both were cremated. The cremated remains actually are more toxic.
You're right.
You know, because they took away any of the value. And when people say, oh, put me around the tree, you're actually doing harm. So I'm not that, and it's incredibly energy intensive
Yeah.
to cremate a human body. I mean, it's better than, you know, some of the beautiful cemeteries you see, they require the cement sarcophagus so that the ground doesn't cave in when the body decays. So it's nice and smooth and easy to mow. That's all that's about is cosmetics. The act of embalming a body is actually more dangerous for the person doing it. You know, just to
Yeah.
keep them another year, and then the chemicals leach into the soil.
Mhm.
So there's nothing good about that. And like I said, I like it.
So we're interested in setting a certain precedence with this, you know, permission. And I'm wondering, would you be willing to just follow the Green Burial Council
Well, that's what
protocols?
yeah, I've been reading up on.
Yeah, so if we wrote this in, what my interest is, somebody down the road might see what we did with you and they'll understand, okay, this is what the town expects. Would you mind if we wrote in, we would,
Well, no, there's some guidelines already available.
yeah, okay,
Mhm.
Yeah.
For how to do a green burial.
right, and if we include that in this application, that would be
Yeah.
agreeable. Nice, I mean,
I'm not gonna use it, but you know,
yeah.
wanna be ready.
Yeah.
I love how you're comfortable talking about this. We all should be so comfortable.
Well, you know, the one thing we all do.
Yeah. No, we're not good at it.
So no, I mean, it's actually, it would be great if the town would get on board. I mean, clearly, some places you can't do it.
Yeah,
You know, you can't do it right in town.
Right.
For a lot of reasons. And you have to consider that the people who own the house after you might find it a little creepy. But with a green burial, the remains will be gone very quickly. And if you don't delineate this as a grave, they shouldn't have a problem with it. And I want it on our property to be near the trees, which will also help preserve the trees.
Right.
You know,
Would you-
because American chestnuts have almost gone extinct.
Yep.
Mine are recovering. And it would just, I'm gonna put a permanent marker with the trees. Saying these are American chestnut trees, please leave them alone.
Mhm.
right. What about any sort of marking?
I've been searching for the last year for just the right rock. You know, something native,
Yeah,
you know, I don't want an obelisk or a mausoleum.
a crypt, no crypt?
No, not for me. You know, I'm just the right rock, I'll know it when I see it.
I love it.
Well,
You're giving me all sorts of ideas, by the way.
You know, I mean, it's the right thing to do. Humans have been burying their dead for 50,000 years that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
So why not?
so I think in order for us to do this, there's the agreement, I think. Was circulated, and it's one from 1986, but I think all we gotta do is just. We put the one. Paragraph in about the green.
The green burial
Just in,
guidelines.
it would probably,
They're not ridiculous.
No,
Green Spring Hughes, you know, the burial site south of Ithaca.
it just says basically that you can't, that if you use a casket, it has to be biodegradable and
Yeah,
you
you
can't,
can't-
and you
yeah,
can't
yeah.
use embalming fluid. I mean, I read the whole thing. That was
Yeah, I
what
simply.
it boiled down to.
So, I mean,
was those 2 points.
yeah, so I think for this, since I put it up on there, I think we would just. Renumber it a little, just put another paragraph between 2 and 3 and just renumber this. Cause the idea for the town is like, we're not establishing another. cemetery and we're not.
Yeah.
we're not maintaining it.
We have altogether, close to 100 acres.
Yeah,
And there is actually a cemetery, designated cemetery,
oh,
but some of the land has been sold,
mhm,
so we're cut off from it. So
mhm,
I don't wanna be buried there.
right. Yeah, I think from the town side of it, it's just, that's what this agreement's about. It's just so
Yeah, I
that,
don't want you guys coming up there to
Yeah.
mow the grass.
right.
Which is why we do.
Right, which is why we're not asking for deposits or anything like
I
that.
do have a question though, is once we get this in place, because I'm very touched by everything you said, but my gut feeling is that people, not everyone should have to come in person to afford
This is the
that.
first time.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
before the board. So once we have this document in place, not everyone would have to come in. Yeah,
The lawyers would just look at it and send me.
Yeah, yeah, like,
And when he asked what the status was, my response was it's on tonight's agenda.
yeah,
No, I don't mind it, if it establishes a good precedent.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can even name it after me.
Oh, we go.
that's right.
Live on in some form.
The Quinn permit,
I like it. I like it.
the Quinn permit.
Something a little more snappy.
Yes.
You got a solid ball. Well, I'll leave it to you,
All right.
but, and I've served on a couple of town committees and boards, so I figured the town owes me a little something.
Are you on one right now?
No,
Well, we need.
oh, I'm leaving for Florida.
All right.
No, my committee days are over. I did my bit.
Thank you.
So I suppose basically what I'd just be looking for is. Make that one amendment and then.
Works for
Just
me.
between once, like, Mr. Quinn said, we come to an agreement, just that I can sign off on it. Without having to come back here.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, if you're gonna send me an agreement, I'd like to be able to comment on it before it becomes.
All right,
And not.
The Quinn
want to give
protocol?
The government more power.
We can email it to you.
yes,
Okay, that's fine.
yeah, we'll do that.
But yeah, I think it's a good thing. I think it's the right thing when you can.
yeah.
And, look at all the land saved from cemetery.
Yep.
Yep.
Plus, in 150 years, when everyone's forgotten, what a surprise they'll find my knees. I got titanium knees, they're not going into them.
All right, so I'll just move that the board grant me the authority to sign off on the agreement that Mr. Quinn comes to with. us.
Cranberry Council recommendation.
I'll second that.
Yes.
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 Yes, Cool.
Tom, I think I did tell you that we'll.
so if you just send that.
On clerk's office.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
Yeah,
Our
just.
standards
anything
and they have it on our
changes,
website.
Yeah,
If they
The
find
link, then I
anything.
can just
Yeah.
add it into.
yeah, no, I understand that, you have to put it on the county needs to know because. Well, that's why I threw in the part about, my Pat's son is the next generation and our granddaughter was only in her 20s.
Mhm.
But we have no intention of, subdividing, selling that lot, so.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so yeah, we're all set.
All right, thanks
you.
very much.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah. All right. And then we're gonna schedule our budget meeting, so I forwarded email from Amanda that had the days that
Yep.
she.
All right.
Any of those dates work for me, so.
Which
He sent an email. It was Wednesdays and Fridays in October.
Amanda sent an email, right, with some dates,
Sunday,
when you're good.
Yeah, so basically Tuesdays, Thursdays, is what she's requesting.
Amanda's requesting Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yes. So I'm here for budget meetings.
Yeah,
I thought Jason wanted Wednesdays and Fridays. Never mind, okay.
yeah, she's asking not to be scheduled Wednesday, these dates, so,
Some dates
yeah, there's 6 dates.
Sliding my calendar by the way.
I have to pull my calendar up. So. And we can do some on October 10th, which is the normal meeting. So it'd be like,
Yeah, let's do that. We
So
need to go
do-
early or anything? No, we just do it during, because it's gonna be a late meeting.
yeah, and I can't do it early anyhow, so I have to do a court appearance right before that.
Okay, so
So that's a 6 o'clock. Well, so what we'll do is we'll do our normal first meeting, business. and
Okay.
I guess we're gonna be, the only other thing we'll have on is the rail trail easement, finishing that public hearing. You don't have anything else for October 10th, do you?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do that, finish the rail trail public hearing,
And then we'll have.
and then, well, the abstract, and if there's any other. Kind of run of the mill things, and then. I suppose. We do department heads on that?
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll do that, okay. That'll be October 10th. And I'll just have to check with Marty, because if she's got rec things happening at night, she'll probably need to do a different night.
Right,
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll actually be with the engagement that night.
Oh, right. Okay,
You guys are speaking on what?
on Friday, right?
Friday morning is when your reception is.
Yeah.
Thursday night. No conference.
Oh,
Yeah, we won't be able to.
what time's our session?
Weekday 30. 31.
8:30. Like, I gotta get kid to school still. He's still trying to, he's driving, so
He was licensed, right?
what I'm trying to do is gotta get his hours in. We won't have him by then. All right. So then,
Can we do another on the 17th or?
that, what we wanna do, the fire departments,
I forgot you have to maybe. You have to hold your public hearing. Like first Thursday after election.
yeah,
that's right.
So you need numbers.
so we need to have that.
So, advertise.
Yeah, so we would do, yeah, I mean, I think last year we did it. Before election day, but so the dates we have available then are just the 8th. Yeah, we can do these, if there's during the daytime that people have available too, we can do it, we don't have to do it at night. So.
Mondays are usually good for me in the day. Not always great, but Mondays are easier
Mondays,
in general.
yeah, I mean, if you can't do it, we just.
Mondays and Fridays are the days that other people don't want to do meetings, so it's usually easier to get.
Okay. Yeah, but we can do it, I mean, we don't have to, I'm just saying if there's time.
No, I know,
off.
I'm not opposed to it. I don't know about the rest of the group here.
Well, we could meet on the 14th. It's Indigenous Peoples Day.
the 14th?
Yeah, I know I'm somewhat free that day.
What time?
Well, but the town halls,
All day.
Okay.
yeah, but we need.
Public meeting, just have to wait the door off.
Yeah, but like if we couldn't do department heads that day, because people have off. So that could be far, I mean. I wouldn't do it that day just because of that, but.
Okay.
It's a good idea otherwise, but I don't know. I mean, 14th would be a day to do like, strategic planning day instead.
Right, well, I think the 15th is also off for people affiliated with. I don't think we have classes that day. Do you work on?
Oh, yeah. We don't get that time.
Do you get?
But in the evening, I mean, the 15th in the evening we could do.
The students get time.
Too exciting there.
Yeah,
And the
the
fun.
days the students and faculty get off don't align with the days the staff get off.
Yes.
I think I could do the 15th and
The 15, but you can't.
I can do the 15th in the evening, but if we can do it like early evening,
6.
6, 5, 4, 3.
Yeah.
Anytime after 1 on the 15th.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, okay, I'm gonna do it at 4.
yeah.
Well, that should be fine. So we're doing the 10th. So maybe the 15th, then we could do Ray and probably Marty. 'Cause I expect like the 10th, Marty might not be able to just because of whatever's going on in rec land.
I think Ray prefers night meetings.
So what time is the 14, 15?
The 15th will be 4 o'clock. We'll start, yeah.
You don't want to do 1? Okay.
So that's when we could do planning. And then, I'll check with Marty what works for her.
Okay.
And then we need a day for the fire departments, unless the 15th, if it's just gonna be Ray, we could do the fire departments that day.
I think we're great. It's done.
Are they available at
And then,
that time though?
um.
And we
The,
could do a marathon session, do the fire departments
what, on the 17th,
on the 15th,
15th?
or 2 of them maybe.
Yeah, I do too. So we'll just
We'll do 2 that day.
do the 2 that day, and then maybe. If we don't have much on the 17th, we can do 2 that.
Do the other 2 then.
We want to get together earlier on the 17th and have a pre-session before the board meeting. I'm not pushing it, I'm just throwing out random ideas.
Mirror to me.
I probably can't do early just because
Okay.
I have no idea if one of my clients is gonna be called to testify at a murder trial. So I might have to. I might have to- So if they say they want to use the guy and it's that day, I'd be stuck in Tioga till probably 4:30.
Got it.
So I just don't know.
I may have I do have a meeting that day as well, 3:30.
So 17 will be.
But we'll do 2 of the fire departments on the 17th, 2 on the 15th.
And
plus-
you will be done after the meeting, after our,
Yeah,
meeting.
I'll just, what's that?
it will be after our second meeting,
Yeah, we'll put it on the agenda, so it'll be at the back of the agenda.
at the back of the, okay.
Yeah,
And do we want to put on an additional, like, if we need it? Overflow meeting the following
yeah,
week?
the 22nd,
What time?
I could do 4 or 5
I'm
again.
busy.
You're busy?
I have a board meeting at 5:30.
Um,
It goes till 7. 22nd.
I mean, Amanda can do the 21st. She's okay on that day.
Rail trail meets at 7.
If we do it early,
What are we doing, like 10 AM?
like at 5,
Do 5. Yeah.
and then try to, because by then we should have a pretty good idea of what we're doing.
Well, it will be 26.
Or the 23rd is fine too.
He's saying the 21st at 4 or 5.
The 23rd would be okay too. Or no, that's the Wednesday.
25th.
Friday, 25th.
We'll make it an all day thing, you know, we go out for a picnic. Make it fun.
Please. We're all working though.
Maybe we did 25th, then we can do it during the day, that would be perfect.
That's conceivable.
We don't have broadband meetings and
I've got a broadband meeting on my schedule for some reason that day.
for 25th,
Yeah,
I don't know why. It used to be every 2 weeks.
I've lost track then.
It's what, I don't know.
I've got a bunch of broadband meetings that probably shouldn't be.
I'm free that whole day. Free, I can take time that day.
25th.
I got vacation for.
All right.
So 25th,
Let me just double check one other thing.
We might not need it, but if we have a,
no, I think we're gonna.
Yeah, I guess 25th would work.
Because-
25th at like 1 o'clock or something.
Can you do later than that?
After the presentation.
I'm gonna try to work
before
5 to
the
1.
final, that's the-
two,
Okay.
Yeah, the earliest I could be here is 2.
25th at 2 o'clock.
All right. Let's do it.
All right, so we're doing the 10th at the end of the back of the agenda. Where we had. Except for Ray.
Okay.
Uh, 15th is planning, and that's the Tuesday. We said what? 5,
I thought you said 4.
4, I'll choose them.
So total 15 or 14.
Well, I'll put them in a hopper and then, just.
It might be based on their schedule, because some of them have, Monday through Friday jobs. So they might not be able to come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So it might be based on their schedule.
17th, the 2 fire departments. At the end of towards the end of the meeting. And then 25th, 2 p.m. if we need it.
So the
I
15
kind of
is.
think we'll probably need a little bit on the 15th, but. Because what'll have that. Really, I mean, we will have been through everything by the 17th, so Amanda would be able to have numbers to us. And then we can decide if we need to.
So the 15 is 4 p.m., right?
Yes.
Yeah, 15th is 4 p.m. Yeah.
That's good.
No, we didn't do this. Yeah, so it's just the 10th, 15th, 17th, and the 25th. So the only non-board meeting nights or days are the 15th and the 25th.
So the final will be 25th. That's
Correct.
what
2 p.m.
to be.
25th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was easy.
Um. Just our advisory board updates and then citizens privilege, so. Yeah, I'm gonna start, Leo.
Okay, I don't have any real updates. The action that we had or we took at the last meeting, it was voted successfully last week in support of the SUP, Ithaca Neighborhood Housing Services SUP. So that was the action item that we had. I assume you already got our minutes for that meeting.
Yes.
And the second was something that I brought in to for Jason. And it's about our pilot weatherization pilot that we have a Pleasant View, in which we are
gonna have a session that. I think we are gonna be able to provide pizza for the residents when I can. If if we can get some success.
So it's just like a social event to
It's
get
it's sort
people.
of informational social.
Yeah. About-
Resident, pleasantly.
Did your group meet after we learned this new information about the rec area?
The group hasn't met yet.
Yeah, so I mean, we gotta give some feedback on this
Uh,
revised RFP. And I don't know if this is the right part of the agenda or if you wanna do it during rec.
Well, they're gonna be talking about that, the
Yeah.
meeting, which is not until until
True,
next week.
but Leslie is asking us for.
so it is a it is an item we have for discussion in our next meeting, the housing committee meeting. Which is the first Wednesday of October.
But DRYC is meeting on the 25th to vote on
Yeah.
this. If we have any comments, we really need to come up with them right
Okay.
now. I
Or
think.
I'll ask for comments before.
Well, I think it'd be good if this group kind of talked about what we think we can get away with now with, given the limits on the property. I don't think we should be asking for all this stuff now.
We should be focusing on the 7 acres. Accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I even think last
I'm
week,
sorry.
though, the group that came and told us about
Yeah.
the findings are pretty much, it should just be restricted to the.
The 7
Like,
acres.
it's like
So it
7
stays there.
acres, 7, maybe 6 acres of land that's
Yeah,
really
just right there.
usable and
Or where on
Really?
the,
recreation, just leave it at that. And it's stuff right over there.
I mean, I guess where I'm going, I don't think there's space for housing.
yeah,
There's no access. You
There's
can't
no
get there from
access.
here.
So I don't want to get your group upset if we just weigh in and say,
I don't think that, I mean, we got some information from Kay. And there was very little reaction except for a couple of questions, but
so would this group be okay with dropping the housing component of the
Yeah.
RFP?
I think.
Can we tell
that's-
Leslie that?
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
think we have
Get
to.
that?
Yeah, I can do
I don't think there's really an option under the circumstances.
it would be a very expensive option.
Yeah,
it. Yeah, I mean, this,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, even though I know Ray's kind of mentioned that the wetlands probably a lot man-made.
Yep.
But that's a whole different ballgame. I mean, right now we wanna
Right.
get some recreation use going, so let's just do that and then.
So are you going to the meeting next week when they
Yeah.
call us? So you,
Yeah, I'll email it to her anyway beforehand, but I'll at the meeting.
all right,
So I remember that Craig was part of the client group, so he provided a very good explanation of what, like the limitations were.
Yeah, and he also sent some comments to Leslie already,
all right, good.
so. Okay. Just conservation, do they have any?
Didn't meet. They were gonna have a social picnic, but it didn't happen.
I know we did a bunch of we did a bunch of climate smart stuff last week, so.
Stop.
yeah. Or we had a meeting, we talked about all that good stuff. We were hoping to have that climate change adaptation and resilience plan right by now, but it's still being revised. They wanted to add some agricultural stuff. And then back in the spring, the county had that EV charger installation thing where they were looking for locations.
Mhm.
It turns out the state's doing the same thing now too, so they're looking into it.
Okay.
There was, I guess there's a webinar last night, I believe, so they're gonna get some more information on that.
Okay, yeah, cause I mean. Town land is not, there's not. A lot of, like, I mean, the one over here doesn't get a ton of use, so
Right.
we need,
I think they're looking for more well-traveled.
I mean, places that probably would. I don't know if how much use they get, but maybe trailheads or something. But usually it's where people are shopping and stuff, and that's,
Yeah, and I guess the one that the state's looking for, they want stuff that's within like a mile of the Route 13 corridor.
Yeah, I was, cause the best place I could think of was the,
Duncan.
no, well, no, I was thinking of the park.
oh,
But we
Montgomery.
went, yeah, No, the park with the lake, the Dryden Lake Park. Where
we got
people
there?
play with their kids, while they're playing on
Oh.
the sets and, but it's very seasonal and that's one of the
Yeah.
downsides of.
Yeah.
Maybe
like a restaurant or something. like-
Hop Shire, they got people
Yeah.
there all the time.
For hours,
Yeah,
or the VFW.
yeah, VFW, yeah, they. So I guess the thing would be just suggest locations and then have to talk to property owners about it.
Yeah, because I haven't seen them on street, like parallel street parking. You know, like,
Not here in the States, I've seen it in like, Paris and
yeah,
over in Germany and things, where they put them in, I mean, they also have gas pumps in the middle of, random streets too.
yeah, but they don't mind if people park facing traffic in a lot
Yeah.
of places, that's an issue.
Okay.
Hands up.
Yeah, I think we know that the planning board worked on the Freeze Road. A project 5 and 9 Freeze Road and did site plan approval and that. At that meeting, I brought up the issue concerning bailout kits, whether they're necessary or not, and got clarification once again from Adam Mitchell. That they were not needed based on the access provisions for standpipes, so we have stitched that issue up and yeah, it's gonna be a really important project. And the other thing is they spent a lot of time interpreting the charge that we gave them about looking into crypto mining. I think they appreciate it and they weren't sure whether they wanted to put it on a subcommittee because they're all interested in the topic and they'd all like to do their due diligence on that. And I think it's a good use of our committees, allowing people who really have a specialized interest in it to do some research and offer advice back to us. So
That's awesome.
that process is all good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and where are you getting the stuff that's coming in from people who are sending like information about these different crypto and?
I've got a few pieces of email from planning board.
Okay, it's just because they should all, whoever, like, they should get all that stuff followed.
Yeah.
We're getting it from like Maria McCray and some other people. I don't know if they've reached you too.
Yeah, the Climate Smart Committee actually did talk about it. So fortunately, Joe Wilson's on both.
Yeah.
So
So, and then, there's things coming in from different people. It's just all
If
these.
somebody sends you something and you want to forward it to a planning board member, that would probably be the appropriate thing to do at this point.
Yeah, just send it to Tony and then he can farm it up like.
But there's no shortage of information. They'll be
Oh,
finding their own as well.
Yeah.
I did, while we were talking about Freeze Road, I did just want to mention that I've been contacting DOT, trying to push along this pending approval for the Freeze Road Bridge, because I think
Oh.
given this other project, we should have that one wrapped up, and it looks like they got their section 4F approval from Federal Highway this week. And I wrote back to DOT this afternoon and just confirming that we can put this project out for bid, or not now, when. Because since we last met, it's cleared 2 hurdles, is what I'm trying to say here, from the state and from the feds, so. I think all the obstacles are out of the way in terms of review, and we should be able to put that project out to bid.
Awesome.
So, kind of exciting. I never thought it would happen. Thought I'd have my own green burial before that happened, but.
Yeah, well, considering the way they were at the ITCTC, I mean, they were. Yeah, they were.
Anyway. I was excited to get some communication back from DOT, because. I've just every month since May, I've been emailing them to try and push it.
I wonder what will get built first.
The bridge,
The apartments or the bridge?
well, the bridge should be,
The demolition is gonna be the hard part, probably putting it in, hopefully it'll be fairly quick. But
Well, saving the
Let's hope so.
pieces and putting them back in may be tricky.
saving the pieces, I can't wait to put those in Rick's backyard,
Since Rick is not here.
said nobody.
Yeah.
No, they're going to be scrapped. Sadly, we can't repurpose them.
No, I thought you were taking the sides off and we were keeping the sides.
Yeah, I
on.
thought we were keeping
Oh,
the sides.
right, but that's a small portion of the overall structure that's getting removed.
Okay.
So the historic
Go
pins that are,
Honda,
Go get one on your desk.
nope,
he'll drive, become a car, drive across the bridge.
Well, since we are in the bridge thing, it was
Circle
asked
them.
the other day by a resident, when we are gonna start, working on the bridge, passing the Route 13.
Oh, that's on the rail trail update.
yeah,
That's next. In fact,
Yes, I'm tenant.
and I had to miss that meeting because I teach a class on Mondays during September, so
Yeah.
Christina went and she'll give that update.
They're anticipating that the bridge contract will be awarded in the fall and construction will begin in 2025.
All right.
oh, good.
And then the next phase of the trail will be the section between Pickney Road and 366, and I guess there's a washed out area. So they're hoping to get a grant to repair that. I never figured out where that was
At
though.
nice site. So it's just one parcel in from Picnic.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Right, good.
So we're talking about another TAP grant for that,
Oh, okay. I thought they mentioned Triad too.
our smaller grant. from
Yeah,
Triad.
yeah. And then I fell asleep and I missed the end of the meeting. Sorry.
You weren't there in person.
No, no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I wasn't.
That'd be an accomplishment,
No, I-
going to sleep.
No, I've been up since 3, so.
Well, thanks for coming.
Sure, no problem.
Appreciate it.
I don't know what happened after that.
Okay, I guess ag didn't meet, I mean, broadband, I guess we get, that's kind of, now we're getting Dave here, I don't know if we really need to,
Redundant.
yeah,
Feels
Yeah.
redundant.
that's fine. And, you know, we see this meeting next week, but we know the topic's gonna be redoing that. Like, bringing back the RFP to reality. So,
It's progress.
all right, and then we have citizens privilege, so if there's anybody with anything who's here or on Zoom. I think we're the only ones on Zoom and Cassie. If there's anyone here who wanted to have anything for the board, either,
Reporters don't do that.
okay,
But they could,
we
if you
can,
wanted to.
I guess we're all set, so. We move to adjourn,
There's nothing else we need to talk about.
I don't think so.
Sleep.
If there's someone just, you wanna think about it one minute. I don't. I mean, the thing will come up once we hear back from the, it's Liberty Housing,
Mhm.
you know, that pilot, which I had emailed, Nate back.
Which
He
was it?
told me that they were waiting. I think the only thing they're looking at, like, it's another pilot, just like INHS.
Where's that one?
It's in Village of Freeville. They had one with the previous pilot was with the Village of Freeville, but for some reason the county wants us to administer it. It's another, it's an existing housing, like an existing apartment building for was it disabled and I guess it's yeah, and seniors. So
Up on Cook or?
no, Cook Street.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
so they want to renew the pilot. I
okay.
figure if the terms or the financial terms are either similar to the previous pilot or what we do with INHS, then if the board's okay with that, then that's what we'll tell them, and it'll, I guess once we have the final document is when we put it on the agenda.
Okay.
All right, good.
So,
Thanks.
so that the only thing is, I guess if they got back to us next week, I might put it on and ask to put it on one of the, well, actually, if we can get it on the October 10th agenda, I think that would be good for them.
Okay.
That's awesome. That's good.
That's it.
All right,
All right,
I'm leaving the meeting.
All right, thanks, everybody.
thank you.
My computer died.